Hey everybody, it's Shakira and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how to treat anxiety and depression naturally. Now, I know I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm just a girl that used to have to deal with anxiety and depression. And in the spirit of transparency on this channel, I'm always going to reveal to you guys things that I've been through that I find helpful, especially considering anxiety and depression are, one of the top ailments that we face in the United States of America. And I have been able to overcome and I've been able to cope with certain things, triggers. And so I am going to, of course, tell you all what they are because I want to offer, 100% transparency on this channel. So let's get started. So it all started about 6 years ago. I was in my kitchen eating pretzels, looking in the refrigerator, trying to figure out what I was going to make for dinner that night for my family. And then I felt like I could not breathe. I felt like something was sitting on my chest, like an elephant was sitting on my chest, and that I could not breathe. And until my ex called 911, I think I'm gonna die. And now the way that I'm talking about it now is kind of like sarcastic and playful, but at the time, I really felt like I was going to die. And so when the ambulance came, I told them what was going on. I told them how I felt, and I told them that, I think that I'm gonna die and hurry up and get me to the hospital because I'm a mom and I'm young, and of course I don't want to leave my kids. And so we get into the ambulance. The EMT takes my vitals, and he says, they couldn't be any more perfect. And he started asking me questions about what was going on in my personal life. And after I told him I'd been going through a lot of stuff, stressed out, he said, it sounds like you're having a anxiety attack. And I have never heard of that before in my life. And so I was just thinking, it was all kind of coming together. Everything that was going on in my life was kind of flashing before my eyes. And now, bam, this is what manifests through drama and arguing and fussing and fighting, and when you're in the wrong relationship. And so we get to the hospital. The doctor, again, there diagnosed me with an anxiety disorder, gave me some Ativan, and sent me on my way. And so after that Monday, I went to my primary care physician, and he, asked me a few questions, asked what was going on in my life, and says, sounds like you need depression pills. And so it's citalopram to be exact. And so I'm like, all right. And so at that time, I was not like how I am now. Like I refuse to take any antidepressants or anything for that matter. But a lot of people around me were already taking antidepressants. Everybody around me was depressed. So I'm like, hey, might as well jump on the bandwagon and take my depression pills and anxiety pills. And so that's what I did for a little while. The problem with that was I felt like I felt like I was disconnected from the world, and I did not like that. Not only was I in a situation, a marriage that was unhealthy, and I already felt like I was disconnected from the world, now I'm taking medications that further disconnect me from the world and from myself. So it all came to a head when I was bathing my baby boy, and I want you to get this visual here with me. 2 wires in my brain, and they cross, and it's zzz. That's how I felt, like zzz, like what's going on. And I just felt like this cannot be life. Like this is not what I'm about to deal with for the rest of my life. From that point on, when I felt my wires were crossed and zzz, my brain was going haywire, and I was walking around like this all the time, like zzz, zzz, like I was like an Energizer bunny. Like, I could not turn off my brain and body a lot. And that's what antidepressants do. They heighten, that suppressed chemical in your brain and in your body. And that's why I had to take Ativan or Valium to go to sleep because the antidepressants were making me an Energizer bunny 24/7. But then the real downside of the antidepressants is that once you take the Ativan to get you to go to sleep, you don't sleep through the night. And so not only that, I was self-medicating. I was drinking a lot of wine, champagne, and I was even smoking cigarettes. Ooh, yes, I was chain smoking, and it didn't last long. It lasted 3 months or so. But it didn't take long for me to start feeling like, ugh, like gross, disgusting. You smoke, ugh, and it was all because I was stressed out. So anyway, that's my story right there. That's my story right there, and why it even came about. I was in a bad relationship. So that is point number one. If you want to get off the meds, if you are tired of feeling like crap taking medication, you need to identify what the heck is causing you to feel this way in the first place. For me, it was a bad marriage, a bad relationship. And so that triggered so many things, so many, and so many bad things happened in the relationship that it created a PTSD-like effect in my body. So for example, if you are fighting with your significant other, or with a family member, or anybody, somebody at work, whatever the situation is, maybe you're living in a home where a lot of traumatic stuff happened, or you see people that trigger traumatic responses in your body. That's because our bodies learn over time, over an extended amount of time that you are subjected to that person, place, or thing. Our bodies remember that. And I learned that because I could never understand why certain people trigger these fear responses in me. And it's our body trying to protect us. And so be aware of that. Get out of that bad relationship. Quit that bad job. Make yourself a plan. And before you say, but, you know, we've been together for X, Y, and Z, and how, and don't worry about the buts, and don't worry about the hows. If somebody makes you feel like crap, if some situation makes you feel like crap and triggers such awful feelings in your body, you need to go. You deserve to be happy. So 1 and 2 kind of go together. You know, 1, just making the decision, and 2, getting out of the bad situation. So I decided that this was not going to be my life. Like, I am not going to be on medications. I'm not going to be doped up and disconnected from the world and from my kids and from life for the rest of my life, you know. So I made a decision, and that was that. I dumped the pills. I never asked for another refill. I didn't want it because I want to experience the world in 3D, in 4D, and I want to go outside and just love my life and experience life through my kids and be happy. So the next thing you can do is use fitness as a coping mechanism. I still do that today. If I feel like I'm out of control of something, or something's not quite right, or my anxiety is spiked or something, I will work out, because that is something that I can control. You can always control you. You can't control the situation. You can't control whether or not you're going to get the raise, or whether or not the person that you love is going to do the right thing or treat you right, or your kids are going to do right, or whatever. You can't control anything or anybody but you. So you might as well take it out on your mat. Get down, do some yoga, some Pilates, some cardio. I still do that to this day. Go for a run, put on some music, and just zone out. That is what I do. That's what I did then, and that's what I do now. The next thing that I do when I start to feel anxious about anything, and it happens here and there, I will become anxious about a project. If I'm working on a project and I really want the project, like I see my goal over there, but I'm still back here getting things done, you know, working on things, how they should be worked on, you know, step by step. I'll be so anxious to get there. My chest will get tight sometimes. Or an ex, the ex might call or text, and that person just triggers such negative feelings inside me. I'll start to feel tense. And so I'll breathe through that, but I'll also get myself some chamomile and lavender tea, a nice big mug, 2 tea bags. I get traditional medicinals. Don't get anything other than traditional medicinals. Let me tell you, it's pure chamomile and pure lavender, and it's going to help calm your nervous system. That's what is taking over. You know, those years of subjecting yourself to that person, place, or thing can trigger something within you. And even though you maybe are out of that situation, something may remind you of that situation. They might call, especially if you have kids involved or something like that. Or like I just said, a project may make me anxious. It happens. It's been triggered in our body. So it's going to continue to happen here and there, but you can control it by drinking chamomile and lavender tea. So like I said, I'll do 2 tea bags sometimes, and I will drink 2 or 3 mugs, however many mugs it takes for me to calm down, I will do that. I will also drink a calm magnesium drink. It's called Calm, but it's a magnesium drink, and it helps to relax me. I usually do that at night if I'm ever having issues sleeping. The next thing that I did was I sought knowledge. I wanted to become aware of what was going on with me emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And so a lot of times we look to blame the other person for our problems, right? And for why the relationship fell apart, or for why, you're so upset. And me included. And so I remember specifically Googling, emotional abuse and my reaction towards it, and wanting to blame the other person. And really, yes, they're completely to blame for their part of it, their role in it. But your role, and I'm just going to assume that maybe you're the person that is reacting to something. And this is not just romantic relationships. I want to be clear about that. We'll just say your job, for example. You can't blame your boss for your reaction, for you cussing him out because you hate it, and because he or she makes it unbearable for you to be at work. You have a choice. Just think about that. You have a choice to stay in that job, to stay at your mom's house, to stay in your ex's house, to stay in the bad relationship, marriage, whatever, to keep to allow your child to keep running over you. You have a choice. We have choices in life. And we either choose to let people treat us like crap, or we choose to stay in the bad relationship, which continues to cultivate depression and anxiety and all of that. So once I realized I have a choice, like, ooh, that person really hurt me, right? That person really, really did some jacked up stuff to me, but I chose to stay. Or my boss promoted that other girl and I really deserved it. And he so this and he so that, but you chose to stay. So seeking awareness and making it clear that we're not victims. We can choose to be victims, absolutely. Things were done to us and we can say I'm a victim, absolutely. We could do that. Go ahead and say this, that what sets me apart from most people that were diagnosed with anxiety or depression, I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to be a victim and just sit in that and rot away and pop my pills, and I refuse. Once I sought awareness, once I was able to understand that I have more control than what I think, that started my healing process also. Next, seek solace in meditation. I sought solace in meditation and becoming aware of who I am, what I want, what I don't want, reflecting and praying some more, and meditating some more, and praying some more, and reading, and just connecting with myself. Those pills disconnect you from the world. At least that's how I felt. I felt disconnected. I felt like I just didn't feel alive. And so now that I am able to, or now that I choose to meditate and pray and I seek solace in these things, I rarely ever feel sad. I may feel, and if I do, it doesn't last long. I don't have bouts of sadness. Like, I swear I was in a bout of sadness for a very long time, because I felt disconnected. And so the moment that I was able to reconnect with myself, I just felt like a brand new person. And so if you are wanting to meditate, but you're not sure, maybe you have tried, but you can't concentrate, and that used to be me. Try different YouTube guided meditations. There are tons on YouTube that I used to use, and I would fall asleep with them on, and they help to reprogram the subconscious mind. And there are just a ton of things that you can do to just start a new path in your brain, and new habits, creating new habits, and creating a new life for yourself. But if you struggle with concentration during meditation, grab yourself a set of lovies. I got these from Amazon, and what you do is you place the lovies in your hands like this. This is 108, and you pick a affirmation. Or you just focus on the feeling of the beads, because I'm learning also with meditation that a lot of people, they don't even focus on an affirmation or anything. What they focus on is nothing. They focus on focusing on nothing. They don't, you know, the whole point is a disconnect from your mind. Disconnect from your mind and from judgment and all that. But anyway, you can do this too. Say you're meditating for peace. You want peace in your life. You get your mala bead and you simply repeat peace, 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 peace. And you do this in your head, or you can do it, you know, out loud, peace, if you're home alone. And then once you get to the guru bead, you say a prayer. At least that's what I do. You can say a prayer and then you go back around. So that's that. But then you can also get a meditation bowl. And this I got from, where did I get this from? Amazon.com. And this is how it works. And you let it ring out, and you just feel like a whole different person if you get yourself a meditation bowl, some mala beads. And last but not least, I almost forgot to mention this, really, really important, breathing. Really important to breathe, because breathing, mindful breathing, it forces you, or it allows you to disengage from whatever the negative thought is or negative feeling that you're having. So let's practice this together really quickly before we close out the video. So you're sitting down. I'm in the kitchen chair, so I'm sitting in the kitchen chair with my feet crossed, and you can be sitting on the floor or wherever. And let's roll your shoulders up and back. And eyes open or closed. I want you to inhale nice and deep through your nose. Hold it. Exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time, because it feels so good. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. I feel different already. I feel just like I've just decompressed right here on camera. And that's how it should feel. That's what, you know, that deep breathing awareness is supposed to do. And it helps tremendously for anybody that is dealing with depression or just difficult feelings, anxiety. It literally makes you disengage from whatever negative thoughts or feelings you have going on, and helps you to turn inward, turn to yourself for peace and happiness. And, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing stuff if you believe it to be amazing and if you want it to be amazing. So before we leave, this is the very last one. I know I said that the breath work and the meditation was the last one. The last one, treat yourself well and feed yourself well. Be kind to yourself, be loving, and you know, eat as much organic food, vegetables and fruits as possible. That all affects your brain as well. It affects your body in a big way. So anyway, I've talked enough. I hope that this video helps you. I really do. And I know that it will if you will allow it to help you out. And so as always, I thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fabulous, peaceful, happy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.